Healing is so not about getting over stuff, and it's so much about getting through stuff. And I think we have this mental block in thinking, I need to get over this rather than get through it. And when you try and get over something, you don't necessarily process the pain. You don't necessarily give yourself the time and the energy and the care to express how you felt and allow yourself an outlet to really let go. Yeah, and that's coming from the point of realizing that regret is painful, change is painful, but change is less painful than regret. And so when you realize that actually the only two options I have now are regret or change, and they both hurt, but change hurts less. And when we recognize that, then we choose to change, we choose to move forward, we choose to let go of that regret, because we realize that regret's not serving us. When you have a pair of dirty trainers or trainers that are ripped up, torn apart, destroyed, you know they no longer serve you, you don't hold on to them, you get rid of them, right? And yeah, there may be a pair of sneakers that you have a bit of nostalgia with, so they're still sitting around, but you know you never wear them because they're of no use to you. But with our emotions, we hold on to them even when they're not useful to us anymore. And just like an item of clothing, just like a pair of sneakers, just like anything in our life that once it's completely used or finished or run out of steam, that's a moment where it needs to get let go. That's what regrets are like. And so when we can just let them go and realize that change is our only choice, that is a mental shift. It is a paradigm choice of you like really pushing away. And I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying that it has to be consciously reminded. It's like repetition. It's just repetition. It's reminding ourselves that, wait, regret does not serve me. Like, I can't wear that t-shirt of regret anymore because it doesn't fit. It doesn't work. It's not serving me anymore.
As Henry David Thoreau said, never look back unless you're planning to go that way. And that's how people get trapped. There's something inevitable about the way that the human mind works. It's going to try to draw you backwards. It's going to try to get you to focus on the bad things that have happened. It wants you to see your mistakes. It wants you to wallow in your mistakes. And I'll give it that maybe it has the best of intentions. Maybe its hope is that I don't repeat those mistakes. Maybe what it wants to ensure is that I do better in the future, but the problem is your energy goes where your attention is. And if your attention is the past, that's where you're going to live. That's where you're going to spend your time, and you're never going to be able to plan for the future. The future doesn't happen. The future has to be built. It has to be created. And if you're not taking the time to map out that creation, then it's going to happen by accident, and you're never going to get the things that you want. You're never going to become the person that you're capable of becoming. But to become that push, then you have to push yourself. You've got to make huge demands of yourself, and to do that, to have the energy to see that through, you've got to know what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And as William Faulkner said, don't bother just to be better than your contemporaries or your predecessors. Try to be better than yourself. But how can you do that if all you're doing is looking in the past? You've got to have an eye to the future. You've got to know who you are today. You've got to have the self-awareness, the presence, to look at yourself honestly, to accept what it is about yourself that is weak, that is inadequate, but without punishing yourself, without spending that time beating yourself up in the past, living there in the pain of what you got wrong, living there in the pain of all the things that have happened to you that were outside of your control that you didn't want. If you want to build something new, don't spend any of your energy trying to tear down the old. Instead, spend all of your time trying to build the new. Ultimately, at any time, right now, in this moment, you can stop and think about what you have. You can put your attention on the things that you're grateful for and watch what it does. Watch what it does in that instance, the way that it changes you, the way that it changes your chemistry, your feelings in a moment can shift from negative and dark to beautiful with nothing else changing around you, nothing but you deciding that you're going to focus on the things you're grateful for. Nothing but deciding that there are things in your life to be grateful for. And that is a decision. No matter what is happening in your life at any moment, right now, in the depths of a depression, in something going on terribly in your life, you could choose right now to think about the things you're grateful for. The breeze, a smile from somebody kind, a stranger who holds open a door for you, anything. But it's a choice. And as Einstein said, there are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle.